the beginning. Your Excellency, we have also made effort to compare the cost of this project with other similar projects. And I can assure the people of Kenya, compared to projects like the Alassane Ouattara Stadium in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, that hosted the recent AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, compared to the new stadium in Kigali, Rwanda, the Amahoro Stadium, we have done a cost analysis, and Your Excellency, I can look Kenyans in the eye and tell them cost per unit, this stadium is way cheaper than those other stadiums. Your Excellency, this stadium is the centerpiece of our infrastructure development master plan, and we have already imagined what should be done in the rest of the country. You know, Your Excellency, that Kasarani is already under renovation as part of the AFCON hosting preparations. In fact, I'm happy to report that Kasarani is already at 30% of refurbishment. And by December this year, Your Excellency, will be inviting you to officially open a refurbished Kasarani Stadium. We are also on a blaze to refurbish other facilities. We are refurbishing Buhungu Stadium in Kakamega, which we have designated as the host venue for Africa's second-tier football tournament, the African Nations Championship, or CHAN. And we are already on with that. We are already refurbishing Kandui, in Bungoma, and many, many other places, including Kipchoge Keino Stadium in Eldoret. Your Excellency, we are also imagining facilities in places like Mombasa, and we have made plans. I know there has been debate on the location of this project, and we have looked at Mombasa, and I'm glad to report to you, Your Excellency, that we have already prepared a plan to have a fitting facility in the coastal region. Excellency, let me conclude by reminding us that failing to plan is planning to fail. And what we witness here today is the result of meticulous planning from December 6, 2022, when Cabinet first passed a resolution approving a request by the ministry to bid for the Africa Cup of Nations 2027. And from that date, that magical date of December 6, 2022, Your Excellency, we have been able to plan. I want to thank you for your guidance. When we were ready to bid for AFCON, we asked you to flag off the bid, and you gladly accepted to do so from State House. It is your action that triggered our partners in Kampala and Dar es Salaam to follow suit and to build a formidable East Africa Pamoja team. Thank you for the leadership, Your Excellency. Allow me also to thank my cabinet colleagues that this project has received incredible support from my colleagues in cabinet. And any time we have submitted cabinet memos, cabinet papers, cabinet briefs, it has received that support. And I want to assure you, Your Excellency, our sportsmen and women, and the people of Kenya, that Kenya will be ready to be a proud co-host of AFCON in 2027. And we are working with the Federation to ensure, Your Excellency, that we don't want just to participate. Hatuwezi jenga kitu kama hii, alafu Harambee Stars iwe knocked out in the preliminaries. So as we build infrastructure, we are also, Your Excellency, investing in the long-term development of a formidable Harambee Stars. Formidable Harambee Stars. A Harambee Star that will not only participate, but compete effectively against Africa's best here at Talanta Sports City. Asante sana, Mheshimiwa Rais. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being the champion. Let me also thank your colleagues, your brother, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni in Uganda, and your sister, Mama Suluhu, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania. The three of you have led us to build a formidable team, and together we shall make East Africa proud in 2027. Allow me now, sir, with your permission, to ask the President of Football Kenya Federation to say something as a key partner on this journey.
Thank you, Waziri. Your Excellency the President, I'll be very brief. For 1 year since you came to office, I was here for about 7 years. And that 1 year has been bigger for us in football than 7 years, Your Excellency. And why? Because all national teams now are taken seriously. We were in the finals of under 18 Sekafa last year, where we performed very well. The national team Harambee Stars now in every window inacheza na mataifa kubwa kubwa. We beat Qatar, your president. Huko kwao tuliwafunga. Tulikuwa na Wakenya 14,000 walikuja kushangilia na tukawafunga. We also drew against Russia. Wakaanza kusema sasa maneno ingine. Sasa ikaniletea shida. But now we are working with the ministry every day to make sure that Harambee Stars will be ready. And I want to assure you, as you said, Harambee Stars will be ready. But hii kiwanja, nikimalizia, we went to war, Your Excellency, for AFCON. Tulikuwa namba 3 tukipanda ndege hapa. Because Algeria was going to win. Lakini tulifika huko, na waziri, na PS, tukakoroga maneno, na wanasiasa huko. Walifanya hivi wakatoka na Kenya. Ndio tukatangaza. So I want to thank you for your support. And I want to say that hii kiwanja, I've been to all AFCON since 2017. Hii kiwanja is only at par with 4 in Africa. 1 in South Africa, 1 in Senegal, 1 is being built in Rwanda, na hii yetu. So tuko kwa hiyo level kama ile ya Lusail ilikuwa Qatar. I want to thank you so much. Finally, Wakenya wote sasa, I had a debate with you and Waziri in March this year. Na matches za Harambee Stars ziko kwa TV. Matches za Harambee Stars ziko kwa TV. Matches zote za ligi 2 kila weekend ziko KBC for free for all Kenyans, just from a small debate we had with you in March this year. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you for having me. Thank you.
Asante sana, Your Excellency. Before I invite our governor, allow me to acknowledge the Ministry of Sports. Allow me just to ask the Principal Secretary to lead the whole of the team to rise so that we can acknowledge them. Your Excellency, this team has worked incredibly round the clock. PS Engineer Tum, the team from Sports Kenya, Noor, the CEO of the Sports Fund, the whole team, together with our State Department of Youth Affairs, led here by PS Ismail. I really, really want to acknowledge this team before you, Your Excellency. It's an incredible team. Asanteni sana. Na uambie rais ya kwamba tunajenga timu ya vijana to understudy our senior team. Boys like Aldrin Kibet, Amos Wanjala, Alvin Kasavuli, Louis Ngavi, they represent the future of sports. And we are working very closely with the Federation to fast-track their development so that they can be the future of our sports. Asanteni sana, my colleagues. Now it's my privilege and pleasure to invite my brother and friend, the governor of the city of Nairobi. Karibu sana, Governor.
Thank you very much, Waziri Ababu Namwamba. Your Excellency, the President, Mawaziri, colleagues, leaders within government, good morning. Your Excellency, you know we have guests. Apologies, we are waiting for the French State Minister, André Beville, who is part of the United Nations Environmental Assembly. We were hosting him this morning at Uhuru Park, Central Park, and they're going to the railway station to see the work that you're helping us with. So those are brief conflict, but I'm glad to be here. It is wonderful to be here with sports people and to see the work that you've been able to do in such a short time, as our FKF president has been able to see. Your Excellency, this year's AFCON was watched by 2 billion people in 180 countries around the world. Nearly 100 broadcasters bought the rights. We can be sure that when it's our turn, there will be many more broadcasters, many more viewers, and even greater interest in this tournament. It will be Kenya's most important opportunity to brand itself in the minds of the world since Eliud Kipchoge's heroics and the most important football event ever since Gor Mahia won the Cup Winners' Cup in 1987. Your Excellency, you know I love sports. I have the blood of a champion. I am the son of a champion, you know that. My mother, Emily Ayoti Kubasu, was one of the last to win the 200 meters in the Commonwealth, and I'm glad that you have accepted to grace her 30th anniversary this year since she passed on. So wakaniuliza mbona mamangu alikuwa anakimbia na mimi sikimbii, nikamwambia I ran for office. She used to run for athletics, me I ran for political office. Your Excellency, I've also been the patron of AFC Leopards, which is still our team. And this year we're celebrating our 60th anniversary of AFC Leopards. We hope that Your Excellency will be able to grace that event. I believe we're ready for takeoff. As hosts, we need to be ready to go deep into the tournament. Of course, as Ababu Namwamba said, we cannot be eliminated in the first round of a tournament we are co-hosting. And of course, we want takeoff so that our country can continue to produce the talent and the successful footballers long after the tournament is over. So ladies and gentlemen, these are the tasks that we have to grapple with. We need to put on a memorable tournament. We need to put together a team that lives up to the standard expected of a host. And we need to maintain production of talent long after we're done. Can we do it? Are we ready? Of course we can. I'm really pleased and honored that the President and your government, Your Excellency, you've thrown your full weight behind this project. You've committed to the upgrading of infrastructure that we need to host this tournament, and you've committed to a long-term plan to train talented young Kenyans so that our footballers and our sports people can take their place amongst the world's best. We in Nairobi County are especially thankful for your generosity as a national government in choosing us as the site of this talent city. Your Excellency, kwa hii uwanja tumecheza ball kama vijana. Our people in Ngando across the road have always, have been worrying because we told them when we build this stadium, watakuwa wanakuja kucheza tukijenga ground. We used to watch from the other side. Now there's a mound that blocks even the view from the road. Unajua ile changamoto tulikuwa nayo kupata hii kiwanja. Ilikuwa imechukuliwa na wakora. I think more than 4 people had title deeds on this ground. But we thank you for your grit. We thank you for your stamina and for your position that public land must always revert to the public. This belongs to the people of Kenya and the people of Nairobi. Your Excellency, as a county government, we have also made a lot of progress. We have completed the Dandora Stadium, which was stalled for a long time in the previous administration. We're going to be launching it with Safaricom during the Chapa Dimpa Festival. We hope you are going to be our guest of honor on that date in April. We are doing the Joka Dengue Stadium, what was known as City Stadium. We are revamping it. And also we're doing Woodley Stadium. We hope that we can count on your support in those endeavors. We're going to have a statue of Joka Dengue, one of our greatest football heroes, just like Thierry Henry's at Emirates Stadium, outside City Stadium, which used to be called Donholm Stadium. We thank you for your support. Nimeongea na mdosi ya Sports Fund, mkubwa wa Sports Fund, amesema pia anaweza kutuchangia, tusaidie, tutengeneze hiyo stadium pamoja. Tumeweka budget ya 800 million kama county, but najua ukituongezea kama 800 ingine ama 1B itakuwa ni noma sana na itaweza, Your Excellency. Asante sana and karibu sana Nairobi.
Thank you, Governor. We'll certainly work with you. Your Excellency, before we invite you, allow me to clarify something important about this site. This site, as Governor has said, was subject of activities which I'm glad this project will bring an end to. But importantly, as we start this project, is to note that some public funds had already been spent here. A number of pitches had been developed using public funds. The pitch where we are seated now is a rugby pitch. We have a number, now 2 football pitches. The one where you scored a classic penalty, and that is a penalty we'd love to see Harambee Stars score at this stadium. And the other pitch, the other side. All those developments we want to announce to the country have been saved and nothing has been wasted. We've been able to rescue all the fields. We have rescued all the forest areas, or even the toilets, like the toilet facility right here. Your Excellency, we have arranged with the contractor. It is going to be lifted as is and taken somewhere else where it can be made use of. The hustler bazaars, the parking, everything that has consumed public resources here will be saved and put to use. And now, good people, it is my privilege, honor, and pleasure to ask you to stand up so that we can welcome His Excellency, the President of the Republic, to address us. Karibu sana sa.
Thank you. Thank you, Babu. Asanteni sana. Tafadhali tunaweza keti chini. Mheshimiwa Waziri wa Sports, Mheshimiwa Waziri wa Defense, President wa Federation yetu, Bwana Mwenda, mbunge wa sehemu hii Bwana Jalash, na gavana wetu wa jiji la Nairobi, Mheshimiwa Sachs, na hawa wangwana wengine wote, na wanaspoti wa taifa letu la Kenya, hamjambo. I am very, very delighted to be here with you as we break ground for the construction of this historic Talanta Sports City, a transformative project that is designed to redefine our nation's sporting profile and deliver an iconic facility and infrastructural development for this city and for our nation. In the bottom-up economic transformation plan and agenda for our country, we committed to facilitate our sportsmen and women and deliver adequate resources to develop every sporting discipline for Kenya to live up to its identity as a sporting nation. Among the necessary interventions set out in our plan were to return Kenya to international football, promote county-level leagues and inter-county championships, culminating in a national sport festival, and dedicated finance for sport infrastructure development. I am happy to announce that we have delivered and continue to make progress in transforming Kenyan sports into a global, competitive, and highly lucrative national sector. To begin with, Kenya is a co-host, together with East African brotherly nations of Tanzania and Uganda, of the 2027 edition of the Cup of Nations, meaning that we will be participating in a continental and internationally accredited tournament and also actually hosting a number of games here in Kenya and right here in this stadium. We have developed and are implementing with great determination the Sports and Creative Industry Infrastructure Development Master Plan. This is devoted to providing state-of-the-art competition and training facilities to comfortably host and facilitate world-class international competitions. It will also provide high-quality training facilities for our sports people and develop a countrywide network of talent incubation and development hubs. Evidently, AFCON 2027 is just the beginning of our nation's endeavor to become a regional, continental, and global center for sport development and competition. To get there, we are committed to invest intensively and strategically to upgrade various sport facilities, including the comprehensive renovation of Kasarani Stadium, as well as the construction of new modern premises and amenities. It is our intention to make AFCON 2027 a memorable continental showpiece, and we are literally working round the clock. If you visit the Kasarani Stadium, work is underway on a 24-hour basis to ensure that renovations are completed on a high standard or to a high standard by next year, well in advance of AFCON 2027. In fact, I have just confirmed from Minister Ababu that in fact that timeline has been reviewed, that Kasarani will be complete by end of this year. Beyond AFCON, We recognize sport and creative industry as primary youthful sectors. Consequently, our sports and creative industry development strategy is intentional about leveraging the immense direct and indirect opportunities for job creation, for talent development, and for wealth creation for our young people in Kenya. We want every sporting discipline and creative endeavor to pay adequately and provide rewarding employment and other opportunities to talented people in Kenya. Under the Talanta Hela initiative, we have set out a sustainable program to identify, develop, and monetize sporting and creative talent. With the infrastructure plan, we are deploying resources from diverse arrangements, including public-private partnership, like to a good extent what's going to happen here, to develop and meet present and future infrastructure and inventory requirements. I invite stakeholders, including potential infrastructure development partners, to explore these opportunities and become part of Kenya's transformation in a world-beating sector. Our bottom-up economic transformation agenda acknowledges our country's youth bulge and approaches it as an unprecedented opportunity to catalyze a historic explosion of possibilities across our country. We are here today, therefore, to demonstrate this commitment by accompanying our promises with investment. The Talanta Sports City represents our determination in action to connect our youth to meaningful opportunities to explore their talent, give themselves an opportunity to train in modern facilities, and work with us towards winning the games that we are set out to engage in. Our journey to return Kenya into a global sporting powerhouse is firmly underway. Under the Talanta Hela initiative, the Kenya Academy of Sports has, within its first year of implementation, assembled a vast pool of impressive talent which have begun to feed to our national sporting teams, clubs, and academies with high-caliber sportsmen and sportswomen. Our commitment to deliver a sustainable pipeline of formidable talent places us in a highly promising position with regard to future competitions. We can look forward to a strong performance from Harambee Stars on home soil. And I hope Harambee Stars are listening to me come 2027. Likewise, future Olympic and other international competitions will witness transformed Kenyan teams harvesting medals with renewed efficiency. As Babu has said, apart from this stadium that we are going to build here in a record under 2 years, I have agreed with the ministry, and that is why the Ministry of Sports is represented here, and the Ministry of Defense is also represented here, because we want this stadium to be built to world-class standards using military discipline. So I will expect our defense team, Aden Duale, the CDF, and your team, to make sure that all the timelines we have agreed are kept by the contractor. And I expect that there will be supervision every week and every 2 weeks. And I will be here myself every 3 months until this facility is completed. To get to the top of global sport and creativity, we have to start at the bottom, right down to the foundation, which is infrastructure development. And that is why this groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the Talanta Sports City is therefore another step up the ladder of our bottom-up transformation of our sport and creative industry. And as the minister has said, This facility will be accompanied by the renovation in Kasarani. We will then proceed to renovation in Nyayo. The renovation in Buhungu Stadium in Kakamega will be underway to deal with our chance competitions. The renovation in Buhungu Stadium, the renovation in Kipchoge Stadium, and we are seriously considering another stadium in Mombasa. There was a huge debate as to whether we should have this facility here or we should have it in Mombasa. For reasons that I was persuaded, we decided that this facility will be here, but we will equally find a place in Mombasa to do a good stadium that will be a low altitude stadium, which will both support our sportsmen in athletics and in other games to train at the low altitude facilities in Mombasa. Let me commend the work that has been done over the last 6 months. I know many teams, they have met with me many times. We have gone back and forth because we wanted to make sure that the stadium is world class, it will be built in record time, and it will be cost effective. Because ultimately, we must account for every shilling that we spend from the coffers of the people of Kenya. I am also very proud that the team has also taken into account the position of Kenya as a great champion of matters renewable energy, environmental issues. Hosting UNEP here in itself is a big step and a major statement. And therefore, I am very happy that many of the trees here will not be cut down, many of them will be saved, and we will plant additional trees, as we have done again this morning. I'm also happy that all the facilities that initially had been put in place have been saved, and that no facility here that had been constructed using public money will be lost, that we are going to keep all the facilities here. And this facility is not only going to serve our premier competitions, but also the grounds here will have opportunities for people from Gando and all these areas to also use the facilities in this stadium. For those who don't know, I lived in Gando here, and therefore I am in the village when I am here, and I am very happy that I have come to break ground in my former village to build a world-class stadium. The ministry should work in collaboration with the county government of Nairobi so that we can agree on how young people, sportsmen and women from these local villages here can also have access to use this facility so that we can grow talent from the local community here. Let me also confirm that we are going to work with the Nairobi City Council in the facilities they have mentioned, whether it is the city stadium that they want to convert into Joe Kadenge Stadium. I want to ask Ababu Namwamba to have consultations with the governor so that we can see what facilities and what resources we can make available to support the county government of Nairobi in the construction of that facility. And let me assure sportsmen and women that they are front and center in our plan to ensure that sports, and Kenya being a great sporting nation, that sports receives the requisite support, financial, policy, political, goodwill, support for our teams so that we can continue to take our place as a sporting nation in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, with this groundbreaking, the construction of the Talanta city is officially launched. Asanteni sana.